So welcome to the Node.js package maintenance team meeting for September 13th, 2022. We'll follow the agenda from the issue that was in the repo, which was issue number 538. Before we get started, any announcements people would like to share? If not, I'll just mention the Collaborator Summit is coming up in Dublin at the end of September, beginning of October. So if you're a collaborator or interested in becoming one, this is a good way to sort of get to meet some of the other collaborators and ramp up on what's going on. Okay, so we'll move over to the issues. So the first one is how to accelerate modernization of the ecosystem, number 513. I think we'd had a few discussions on that one, and I think, Owen, you had the ball to sort of comment, if I'm remembering, and then we're going to need to figure out the next step, right?
Yeah, let me, I think I did comment. I think it was volleyed back to the OP, but I think the gist of the conversation coming out of that initial post was what does modern actually mean, and is like say maybe using experimental fetch over HTTP like a significant or meaningful sign of modernization. And so I think Dominic has pointed out that we have a deprecation guidelines doc, and so I think it was maybe more about like some sort of like another risk assessment, but I don't think the premise of basing it on like syntax or API usage alone. I think if that was a deprecated API because of security reasons, that's something entirely different. But even at work, I'm finding cases where I just want to use HTTPS to just kind of cut through a bunch of library stuff, and like, is that really wrong? All right, so I glue together my certs instead of offloading it all to another library. Like, is that really that bad? I can come back in 3 years and see 30 lines of code versus a pile of node modules. And anyway, I don't have to editorialize too much more, but that's the so I think there's an interesting conversation to be had there, but I think just on the initial premise alone, maybe not enough to really commit to, but the conversation was left open to, what else could we think of and potentially add it to that document.
Right, which I think makes sense. I'd almost suggest we close this issue now, though. Like, we've had the discussion. I think where we landed was, it's not so much, this group doesn't really see it within the mandate to say, hey, we should try and make decisions on what's modern and what's not modern. So really, it's more about, like, if people are using packages which are no longer suitable, it's encouraging deprecation in the right way, or helping people be aware of that. So and I see the op hasn't responded since June. So I think in the combination of those, we should probably feel comfortable say, we've had the discussion, made some suggestions, we can probably close it. I don't know if everybody else agrees.
I mean, I'd love to encourage conversation around it, because I think this is pretty common around the duality of the Node.js module system. I think sometimes, yes, I mean, it's modern in the way that it's like more of like ESM, I guess, benefits maybe more from like a recency bias, not necessarily like a, you know, I mean, everything has its trade-offs. There's certainly things in ESM that you could do in CommonJS that just aren't there yet. So if I'm actually trying to do all the things I want to do, I might want CommonJS, I know that even in like Babel plugins or like some presets, they literally use like 2015 as the cutoff of like modern. Maybe that's a little bit different for browsers and stuff. Anyway, I think the conversation is valuable. I think that, if as time evolves, either APIs deprecate or just things become maybe more objectively truer, there is a good argument to keep updating that guideline. But it seemed like the preponderance or a lot of it was the OP was focused more on what APIs am I using, and like I said, there's probably more to mine there rather than like, API A versus API B. So yeah, I guess, close it. But, I think it's certainly worth calling out, like we want to keep the discussion going, start with that doc and, yeah.
Yeah.
I may actually link to it.
Maybe it might be a good idea to follow up on some of that conversation on a different issue, like create some new issues that like break apart, because I think that especially the title there, like using the term modern, like, by just scanning through the conversation seems to be very, it's a very chart term. So maybe just breaking down the conversation, like that request comment, like that's a very good one. Like the library is deprecated, but still have millions of downloads every week. Like maybe that's a conversation worth have like a part of this specific issue.
Yeah, I think so. Like Jordan's point, like does using CJS versus ESM necessarily make your app more or less insecure versus using something that's like officially deprecated, dependencies are. So I think it's more a question about like risk. I guess like the way that like say Socket IO is thinking about, hey, a patch release just introduced a bin in its package JSON. That seems kind of suspicious, things a little bit more underneath the surface, but yeah. But
cool.
The document
I see Michael. Good.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I just see that Michael already like closed the issue, so yeah, we can follow up on different ones.
Yeah, that's what I think that's like if there's a specific topic, like it would be good to open an issue to cover that topic, right? Because okay, anything more on this one we should discuss before we kind of move on? No, okay, the 2022 promotion events. I think this one, we had some ideas of some promotion to do. I don't know that we've made any progress on that. I can't remember if it was this group I asked before, but like, are other people going to be at the Collaborator Summit?
I'm going to be there.
Owen, are you going to make it?
I will not be there.
Right. I think you mentioned you might be able to do it virtually.
Could attend virtually, sure.
Right. Because the question was,
Right.
Should we submit a session or try and plan to have a session there?
Well, maybe that last issue could be a good collaboration topic with the NPM CLI team. Do they have an opinion on the matter? Maybe they have a document. We might not even have to write anything else.
Which issue? The
one we were just talking about.
Oh, right.
Modern packages. So I know obviously NPM is does a lot around security and flagging and signals and maybe, I don't know if they're less opinionated or more opinionated than, say, a group like this.
Yeah, I know they're really invested on trying to secure the ecosystem. So some of that conversation, but like again, like probably like breaking down from that that large overall, like modernize and more like on the specific topic. Okay, yeah, securing the ecosystem, and yeah, things like that. But I'm also, yeah, I'm always on the side of let's have a session, please, to try to get some of the people together and some new interested people to participate. Like,
So going from there, can we get you to volunteer to lead a session at the Collaborator Summit?
doing a couple, so one more, one heart, right?
Yeah. I'm just looking at the submissions. So let's see, OpenJS Foundation, Summit, issues. So there's documentation, Weekend in JavaScript sometime, SEA mini summit, next 10 priority review, which I'm helping to lead. So I guess you're probably leading the node tooling session, working group session,
Yeah, that in the release.
the
working
release
group.
one.
We're also trying to have a session there, yeah.
We have diagnostic one. So yeah, if you're happy to put together, like, I'm going to be there as well. So if we want to put together one and I can help as well.
Yeah, we might have someone else from the, the recurrent group that I know there's a lot of other folks from Europe that we might get some more people from the regular group. So someone else might also want to join as a facilitator there.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
like if we have somebody else
Okay.
who wants to be the facilitator, that would be great.
Cool. Yeah, if you want, I can put together a quick
Okay.
proposal there to have at least the.
Okay, so you'll submit a proposal and then proposal maybe, and then we can see, I don't know, where should we open an issue here, or like how do we ask if there's other people who want to help facilitate that?
Yeah, I usually like to open an issue in the, let's say, in the package maintenance repo, pointing to the proposal, and then we can tag the participants, right? Like from the package maintenance repo, right?
Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. So if you can do that along with the proposal, then we can workshop that. And yeah, I'm happy to help or not help depending on how many other people we have driving that. So that's good. Okay, so I think that fits nice into the promotion. We can have a, basically, again, promote it to people, collaborators who might be there. And the status and updated next steps for PKG JS Create. I don't think there's an update, but I still think that one might be actually be a good one, even good one to discuss in the Collaborator Summit. If there's anybody who's sort of eager to get started on something, that one I think is quite interesting and useful, right? In terms of like, if we had some project opinions on how you start the creation of your modules, integrating the support info, integrating some other things and stuff, I think that would be quite interesting and useful for somebody who has time. So
yeah.
The next one, I don't think there's any update either in terms of suggested list of modules, but might be related a little bit to the PKGS Create. And that takes us to the end of the agenda. I don't know if there's any other issues that. Oh, there's Zach. Sorry, I didn't promote him. And he might. I know at one point I think he was looking at that, so maybe he has an update. So.
Yeah. Can everyone hear me fine?
Yes.
Yeah, so I've been keeping an eye on the repo since I was my status was updated. Mainly, I've just been closing the Dependabot PRs because I plan on going through and doing a full pass on the the dependencies and everything. And really, I want to look at the there's a open PR from way back, which is like the basis of the 1.0.0-RC1 or 2, I think, for pkgs/create. So I want to look at getting that work merged in, and formalized and everything, and moving forward based on that, since that's the code that's being used and published on npm. So that's kind of what I'm looking at as my next steps. I've been kind of held back by other life events and stuff, but yeah, I still have an eye on it, and I'm still planning to move forward with it.
That sounds great. Definitely, I think it needs that full pass because it's been a while since things were there, and sort of bringing it up to date a little bit, and then moving forward sounds good. Okay, any other issues we should talk about before we close out for today? If not, I guess we'll give everybody a little bit of time back, and we will see you in GitHub next time. Thank you very much.
Hold on. Is there a...
Yeah.
Was that a hold on or a goodbye?
There's a Q. I see a QA.
That was
icon with
probably
it.
me trying to get
Yeah.
people's attention.
Oh,
I
okay.
was saying I'm here, and it's like, yeah, because sometimes, yeah,
Oh.
you're waiting to get in.
I kept clicking it, and then it popped open in my other monitor, and I kept looking for it. Okay, or we can. That's it.
All good then.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye bye.
Okay, see you all.